Welcome to my poster presentation, the Chadir Uyuk medals in the context of Central Anatolian Metallurgy. The objects of Chadir Uyuk are basically of two types, ornaments, and so pins, and tools. About the ornaments and the pins, I've separated in two different classes, chronological classes. The first one are the pins from the early Bronze Age, first and second in some sense, but basically of the first half of the third millennium. And what is interesting is this double spiral pin that has a lot of comparison in all the central and eastern Anatolia. What is interesting that there is even a link with the southwestern Caucasus, and so this pin can give us an idea on how much was wide the contacts between Central Anatolia, Eastern Anatolia, Southeastern Anatolia, and the Caucasus. Another interesting pin is this pear-shaped head pin that is essentially very common in Central Anatolia, and it has a lot of comparison, especially with the Alishar Uyuk pins. Then there is a difference with the pin of the second half of the third millennium. The pin in the figure 3A is a star-shaped pin made of these little wings, and in a certain sense it gives even the idea on how expert the metalsmiths were to produce this kind of metal object. This pin is very common in the central and northern area of Anatolia, especially in the area of Alaja Uyuk and Ikistepe. The items of Alaja, of Ikistepe and Chadir are made of copper. The objects of Alaja, the pins, the star-headed pins of Alaja are made of gold. So there is a little differences between, but the type is just the same. Another interesting pin is the conical head pin that is typical of the late third millennium, and is spread between the north area of the Central Anatolia until the south area of the Amuk. What is interesting in this kind of work I made is that there is a link in the early Bronze Age between the central area, the Central Anatolia, with the northern coast, but even with the Amuk Valley. This is the Amuk Plain. This is even, we can even argue so, because a kind of tool is an awl that has a tang with a square cross-section and a point with a round cross-section. This kind of work is very widespread in Central Anatolia and in the Amuk Valley, and it has necessarily there must be a kind of a matter because they did in this way. This kind of tool is even found in Arslan Tepe in the Malatya plain, but is not so common. So my idea is that is typical of the Central Anatolia.